Okay, this is a video diary. I got a text from a YouTuber that told me to do an update on what happened with my job. So after I went to the police department, my job changed their tune a little bit. They told me to come down and get the equipment, and my abuser's pretty petty, and he's done a lot of things and been able to abuse power in a manner that you just wouldn't believe. So there's only a certain amount I can tell you because I'm just pretty sure that you just would not believe that it was done. But here's just one area. They would play games with the food. If you notice in a lot of these videos, they would deprive me of food. That's why at one point I said I think that this should be attempted murder. I would get dizzy and faint if I didn't eat. He knew that. So he had enough power to abuse to have these stores, grocery stores, and multiple other restaurants and different things deprive me of food, knowing that I could possibly get dizzy and pass out. So knowing with him having that education, he had family place, and they did a lot of other things that I would tell someone if I just knew that they really believed my stories, but I just don't think people would believe it. So, but one thing I will let you know, at the family place, they would intentionally give me really small portions. This man, at first it wasn't like that, and they let everybody have their fill, and then this is a pattern everywhere I go, because he's controlling the situation, and he knows that I'll pass out, so he controls my food. So anyway, he had them give me some really, really small portions, and they wanted me to know that I was being targeted. Everybody else had different portions, and I just flat out told the man, I said, "Sir, do you have a wife? Do you have kids?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Would you like someone violating your family like this?" So then the man, because he's forced to do it, so he puts a plate up there, but he makes the plate and he puts it up there for me to get it, but he didn't actually make it, because they make you ask for the food, and then they make the plate. But since he's been forced to do that, he had the plate already prepared, so he could pretend like he wasn't making it for me, and it was already a plate there, so I got it. I know what they're doing, and I know someone's forcing these people to behave that way. So I got the plate. It was a normal serving, so since there's multiple schemes, the food would be gone in the morning. So I intentionally saved some food so I could have some, because there wouldn't be any in the morning. So they threw all of the food away in the refrigerator prematurely and threw the food away. That's how much power he's able to abuse. They had certain days that they throw food away. He was so infuriated that this man didn't violate and mistreat me over that food that in another scheme, he had them throw all the food away. So multiple parties told me to go up there and get the equipment. They were playing games and trying to make me think that I was still fired. So then I said, "This is weird. Why would they tell me to come?" And I started recording, and I did not tell them that I was recording, but they saw that I was doing something conspicuous like I was recording, and then they got it right. But here's the thing, if they are controlling the business where they can yell at me when he gets mad, because he likes that power. So when he's upset, they create arguments. That's what he did with MetroCare. This is emotional abuse that he's able to get away with. So with MetroCare, they enticed me to use MetroCare. That's his bullies. So when I was detained at Parkland, I said, "Please, please, please, I'm fighting for my life. MetroCare can help you. We have you assistants at MetroCare. They'll help you with the domestic violence, and they'll give you counseling." They didn't do any of it. They covered for all of it and were bullies. So when he was mad, MetroCare would call and start arguments. They would try to convince me my experience was delusions, as well as a doctor, and all kinds of things you just really wouldn't believe. So really, MetroCare was his bullies. So then when I stopped using MetroCare, that's why they walked off 2 times when I was reporting child abuse, and another party dropped me from the program for trying to report child abuse. My daughter was hit. I had the messages, and no one would investigate it. Period. Not even CPS or the police. So anyway, they dropped me from the program for trying to report child abuse because they had to cover for it. So since he's not able to abuse that power, now he needs to entice my job. So it's still not sure because he's controlling them. So the only reason why I'm exposing this, I just want people to know the level of power this man is able to abuse and consistently get away with it. We're talking about a stalker. It would be rational for a stalker to say, "Let's not let her go to court because she's going to talk." And we don't want the court reporter saying what she's saying, reporting what she's saying. So this is what a stalker would say. Just let's not let her go to court multiple times. But here's the problem. The government said, okay, so they deprived me of my constitutional right to go to court. I understand that that's what the abusers do. They want to isolate you from your family. But when you can run CPS in the government and scheme and keep you away from your own children out of corruption, bully them and violate them and terrorize them to where they don't want to be around you, and then scheme and break the law, and still crimes and felonies are being committed now that no one is doing anything about, where I don't have access to my children. I cannot talk to my daughter or see my daughter, period. We were close, period. And the government's enforcing it. The police coming out, detaining me, assaulting me, arresting me to cover for it. So and then, the abuser didn't want me to move out of that house where I was getting the voyeurism and it was highly controlled. He didn't want me to move out of that house. So he just had him hide the $5,800. Just don't give it to her. I need her in that house. The first thing I would have done when I got that cash is get out of that toxic neighborhood where I had car windows busted out. I saw him stalking me. He was telling me what I was doing at home. The police covered for all of it. Wouldn't investigate none of it. So because he didn't want me to move, escaping him, he told Attorney General, don't give her her money. They didn't. And lied to me every month on the phone. The stepmom said, no, we got our money. And the other party, the other mom, got her money too. I don't know what's going on with you. They would not, and then lied every month telling me they did not get it. It was a blatant lie. So when I was in jail on false charges, I wrote. And I said he got a lump sum and I didn't get any of it. So they got caught and tried to steal those funds. Because I stated that I didn't get it. So then they put the money on the card. But had I not wrote to that court and told them that I didn't get any funds from that lump sum, they would have stole $5,800. Just so I couldn't move out of that house. So the government doesn't have a clue that allowing a stalker to control them could be problematic. Like a party didn't want me to get help with domestic abuse, so he was so petty he had 2 cars stopped on the freeway, nothing in front of them to create traffic. And a lot of other chaos I can't even communicate because you wouldn't believe it. On the way. So then it got so out of control where I just got ran off the road. Then when I got ran off the road, I just picked up my phone in the process because I was tired of all the chaos getting there and recorded it. The man got out of his car in front of the car, stood there. I got license plate number and everything. Showed it to the police and the shelter. The police got mad, told me to come back a month away. Then when I was still terrified for my life, I came in for a support group. They arrested me, assaulted me, and gave me a criminal trespass and took me to jail. This is what abusers do. But I'm hoping that someone will realize this man don't need to continue running the government. I want to see my daughter. As long as they entice attorneys to deny me representation, violate CPS until they violate me, control my jobs, control my phone, I won't have ability to escape this. And that's what they're setting up. They're making it impossible for me to escape this abuse. Like controlling my mail, which is a felony. How do you get so corrupt to where you go through a party's mail and you only deliver them certain mail? I put 4 holes at one post office where I wrote all these activists and they would not give me my mail. I didn't get anything. I had this huge campaign advocating for myself. I had a notebook. I had made copies. I was writing everywhere. I got a whole bunch of stamps. I wrote all over the place. I didn't get one stitch of mail. They were so corrupt, they would not honor those holes. Period. I called the police on the post office, and the police came and covered for it. So anyway, this is just a video diary of what happened. Is this a victory? I'm grateful for today, but I would prefer for this stalker to not be running the government and violating me and able for them to consistently get away with denying me law enforcement. That's still not a good quality of life when I can't speak to my daughter out of corruption, when I can't get an attorney to protect myself against them. because the government won't get out the way from having parties violate my civil rights. Conspiracy to violate civil rights is a crime. It's up to 10 years on the FBI page. That's clearly what they're doing, and consistently keep getting away with it. Enticing churches. You know what multiple churches say? And I just don't understand how the people consistently do this. So now they all say the same thing. I'm going to pray for you that God will send you that help. Well, if everyone keeps praying that God sends me the help and deny me the right or the support or the assistance, are you part of the problem? If you allow someone to get violated and you sit there, look, and do nothing, are you a part of the situation? Do you have a responsibility as a human being when you see someone getting violated to get involved? Isn't that your responsibility as a human being, a decent human being? If the government is out of control and don't know how to handle themselves, maybe multiple parties don't know how to handle the situation, but a start would be to be able to be supportive and do what you can and not tell that individual, I pray that God sends someone for you, because it won't be me. That would be a start to be a part of it and be a part of the solution. So I know I've noticed this pattern. Multiple churches that I've reached out to, they have this robotic response. I'll pray you get that help. Basically, they're saying it's not going to be me. And it would be a lot more beneficial if my abuser wasn't controlling all my environments down to the churches I go to and the organizations. But that's proof that I don't have civil rights. So that's part of the video diary. It's a lot longer than I expected.